talk about the new product specifically,
Okay.
TripPak's new in-cab scanner.
Right.
What is this, and how user-friendly is it, and what's it going to mean ultimately for not just the driver, but again, the operations as a whole?
Well, I think that's a very good question. I mean, everybody has heard of the TripPak. They know us by the yellow
Right.
boxes, and that's something that we did several years ago. But everybody knows in marketing, there's a product cycle. There's a growth cycle. Then there's when it comes down. And right now, we have to plan as a company, as an organization, with technology and with the capacity that we have at ACS TripPak, we have the technology now to do the scanning, so that the drivers do not have to look for the TripPak to turn in the paperwork in. Now, a lot of times on Friday, let's say their paperwork has to be turned in, let's say at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. They're in a traffic jam. They didn't get unloaded in time, so they missed the cutoff. So by missing the cutoff, the carrier misses cash flow and the driver misses cash flow. What we've done is we've taken a look at, and our technology people are just absolutely phenomenal, but we tested a scanner with the United States, the military. We tested it in 125 degrees in Iraq, maybe 130 degrees, and we also tested it in about 40 to 50 degrees below zero in Alaska and those places like that. So it's very durable. It's also very easy to use. When we set this up, we made it very easy to use. One of the competitive advantages of any organization is just being easy to do business with.
Yes.
And we wanted to make it be easy to do business with the drivers. So they basically download our product, very simple. We give them the information, and then they take the scanner, which they have to have a laptop, but they take the scanner, and they go right through it, and they scan it, and it basically sends it straight to the company or sends it to TripPak. It saves it. So in case they ever need to go back and the company says, I never got it. But now they can have all that information, and they can do it very cheaply. And a driver doesn't have to worry about going out a route to drop that off.
Wow.
A driver doesn't have to worry about, trying to find a spot for a TripPak to do any of that. So once again, our vision as a company and strategy is to add value to the carrier and create a quality of life for the driver. And if we can do that, we're going to be successful.
And people embrace that. And again, making
Absolutely.
it easier to use. And I think that's a great mission statement. Is to let's create businesses or help businesses be better or easier to do business with. Making a business user friendly it seems to me like a great concept, because you're thinking on the larger scale. But that relationship is key, because especially in lean times and good times, you're going to want to make sure that you have as much market share, but you're serving your customers, you're performing for them day in, day out.
Yeah, and to take a look at it, we've been very busy here at the show selling these. I mean, ACS TripPaks, and we're in booth number 69045. We've already sold dozens of these products, and we've had several large carriers. I don't want to mention any names, but we have several large carriers with 4,000 and 5,000 trucks that are buying these for their drivers. Now, we take a look at the economic part of it. Is okay. Let's say if I have 5,000 trucks. People think, okay, if I can save 10 miles a week, or let's say 5 miles a week. 5 miles a week where a driver doesn't have to go out a route turning paperwork. Let's say 5,000 trucks times 5. Divide that by 6 and multiply it by $3 a gallon. Because most trucks will get 6 miles to the gallon. And diesel's around $2.90, $3 now. And then you calculate that. That's millions of dollars a year in savings. And once again, it can go back to the investors, because a lot of them are publicly traded companies. It can go back into spending more time with drivers as far as maybe better equipment, more efficient equipment. It's all about adding value, and that's what we're all about right now.
And when you talk innovation, you have to talk mobile phone apps here. Well, let's talk about that, because, I mean, it seems like there's an app for everything, but really we're looking at a functionality application here that, again, serves the industry.
Well, I tell you, I never had a smartphone until I started working at ACS. I just had a regular phone. So I wanted to, I've heard about all these positive things about the iPhone or the smartphone or whatever, so I get one. And then all of a sudden, these new applications start coming out. You can check the weather. You can do this. I can do banking online. I can find the nearest Starbucks if I'm traveling or whatever, and it will take me right there. It's like, hey, life's good. But what are we doing for the trucking industry? And Chad Goins, who's our vice president of business, kind of strategy and development and IT people, he's in Denver. Very, very good at what he does, and his group is too. And I can't thank them enough. But we got this. We did a partnership with YouFollow out of Austin, Texas, and basically what we do now, we have an application that will be marketed very soon, and you just download it to a smartphone, take a picture, and take a picture of your paperwork, hit one button, and it goes automatically to the company you want to go to, or it comes to TripPack, and we process it and bill it and do all that stuff.
Wow.
And we used to wait days for that lead time to go, but now it's instantaneous. And that is so important in the trucking industry. A lot of times when you talk to cash flow, and plus it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's 25 degrees below zero in Omaha, Nebraska, and let's say in February, and there's a foot of snow. It's the last thing a driver wants to do is go out and even try to find a parking spot.
Right.
He just got empty. He could take his smartphone or his scanner, do that, download it. It's processed. It's done. It's all saved. And it's that's what this is all about, adding value.
You talk about efficiency.
Oh yeah,
I mean, this is super efficient.
Absolutely.
I mean, we hear the word super efficient truck when it comes to equipment, but this is super efficient business here for the trucking industry.
Well, and that's my role. I mean, that's I take been in the industry for 20 years, and I've done everything there is to do in trucking. Even sweep the floors of the docks. Yeah. But that's where we have to add value. That's what we have to do to the industry to make it much more efficient. And it does seem like, and I don't know who's to blame for this, but it does seem like the trucking industry is behind on technology probably a decade.
Not like we were before, but we're still lagging.
We're still lagging and everything. But there's so many companies out there that spend millions of dollars a year in research and development and innovation. You look at your most successful companies in America today, and they are your most innovative companies.
Wow,
Microsoft,
really
Google, Nintendo, and there's so many more out there. I mean, we've already mentioned Apple, obviously. I mean, Steve Jobs has redesigned the way we listen to music, the way we purchase music, and the way we do everything, basically.
Sure. And we have retailers working for that efficiency as well. I mean, major retailers like Walmart that are saying, asking a lot of these manufacturers, please cut down on the water in your products.
Right.
So detergent bottles have become smaller, cut down on the packaging, so they've reduced the amount of packaging that goes into, say, a cereal box, and all of this done in the name of efficiency.
Right.
And that again helps to build going forward a stronger industry that's more stable, but a stronger economy as well that's more stable.
Absolutely. Those savings, a lot of times, are the savings that the carrier we've talked about. A lot of times the carrier will pass that on to the driver or to the employees, or buy new equipment with it or whatever. But that makes them a larger, more stable organization, and that's what it's all about. We've got to get the profit margins where they need to be in the trucking industry. Now, we saw a natural filtration, I guess, in the past 24 months where a lot of trucking companies have failed. A lot of owner-operators have failed. So now those that stuck around, those who were successful enough to stick around, have a very good position. And then we're going to start to see rates probably increase, assuming probably in the next few months. And we're going to hear that word driver shortage again.
And I love those words.
Yes.
Especially
what's strong for
together.
the economy. I mean, it really helps. I mean, it helps at everything, So.
All right, Doug, so here's the question. How do we get started? How does a driver get started? How does the company get started with this stuff from ACS through TripPack, this innovation?
Well, they can go to trippack.com now, which is TRIPPAK.com, and they can go on and buy that. They can scan it. But take a look at it. If you are here at the Louisville Truck Show, come by. Like I said, booth 69045. We're there. It may say ACS on it, but we're still TripPack, and they can do that. Take a look at it, research it. Come see me. I'll run the return on investment with them. It doesn't take long, and they can access it that way. So, it's like I said, it's good for the economy, and we've got more ideas we're working on right now too, Eric.
Awesome.
I can't tell you now, though.
But that's a good excuse to have you back, Doug.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much.
Not that we need one. We always love talking to you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity very much.
Doug McElhaney, thank you so much, and we will talk to you again soon.
You will, absolutely.
All right.
Good seeing you again.